The Digital Decadence Trilogy really revolves around growing up in the 21st century and how technological changes have really altered how people grow and really adapt to life in this age. So my work will really be about kind of like the alienations and also the benefits that come from this new change. The first poem I'm going to read is called Telegraph Road. It's named after Telegraph Road in Detroit. It's a very long boulevard, if you don't know that stretches miles and miles. This is just about that experience of driving and how driving can kind of transport you elsewhere. Whenever the television steals my soul, whenever the apps take their ruinous toll, whenever I burned out my last bowl, I head on Telegraph Road for a stroll. My caddy, my baddie, a trustworthy girl. Together we ride through the concrete world, roaring at red lights, prepared for the race, shining in blackness, the vision of grace. The road, it waits for our devious worse, majestic, enormous, a divine transverse, spreading across all towns and cities, sliding sweetly between the clam and glitty. On Telegraph, we began our rousing quest. The sun as our guidance, we truly felt blessed. And as we raced down that masterful street, we marveled and mourned for its mystical treats. The gas stations aplenty, liquor stores a lot. Next to the tit bar is the best chicken spot. Across the car wash is the cemetery plot, where I once heard an auto tycoon got shot. New apartments shadow old strip malls, bridges emblazoned in bright neon scrawl. Passing 8 Mile and the grass is getting small. The buildings getting larger, the money getting tall. The rays beam atop the fresh donut shop. Taco Bell and Burger King, beacons of hope. Speed limit's now 50, but I'm going a nice 60. But pushing 65 is a slippery slope. Grabbing my shades, I pass neighborhoods paid, dealerships for yuppies and sugar daddy puppies. And as the sun sets on a Rolls Royce Corniche, I sigh with relief, a sudden wave of true peace. McMansions sprout like bright tulip petals, each passing lane something like a meadow. Pine trees stretching toward the pinkish orange sky, golf clubs, chic pubs with each turn of the eye. What once was this woodland before swallowed clean, a playground transformed full of gloss and sheen, shimmering stately yet devoid of a heart, constant construction tearing it apart. And who were the ones who called it their pad before being cast out as if never once had? Pushed outward or inward or wiped out for sure? How did they manage? How did they endure? No, I am not original. Many others have sailed along this most charming, beguiling of trails, but I cannot help feeling that I have cracked the code of the exquisite solace of Telegraph Road. The next one I'm going to read is called Springtide Blues. It's basically about generational arrogance, how younger generations look at older generations as out of touch, but also realizing that that will happen to you one day. So this is what it's. For those before, I cannot help but wonder how they felt long ago with this influence I'm under, all beautiful and infinite and dynamic and able, etching a trail for one seat at the table. That joy and brightness disrupted the quo, brought forth the reflection the world wouldn't show. Such power control made them always on a roll, dictating the turn of the globe like a troll. Did they know one day it would go away, that their morals and values would fade and decay, that their love and romance was all a charade, or the prayers they imagined had never been made? Perhaps it was all of that drunken might, absorbed inside, transformed to spite. Perhaps it was all of the good wealth, taken for granted, exchanged for health. But for those before, I pity the most. Your visions and fantasies have turned into boasts, promises empty, covered by new boxes, more corrupt than a pack of sly foxes. You had the universe for all of the taking. Instead of making peace, you advocated breaking. As long as the tide was moving to your side, it did not quite matter who'd even missed the ride. As long as the train continued on the tracks, it did not quite matter who'd been left back. You preached for ideals, but voted for fools. You preached harmony, but cared more for jewels. Don't get me on schools, only for the rich. Our loan debts could send us to an early ditch. Thanks for this nightmare we are trapped in. I just have one question. What the hell happened? For those before, I pity the greatest. Your styles and desires are no longer the latest. They've yellowed and browned and turned into ash. Ancient archaeology dissolved in the trash. Though even in my most confidence gaze, I cannot be consumed with such bold praise. Someday we too will commence to age, blossomed rose changed to wise sage. And will you love me when I am gray, no longer pretty, no longer risque? When I am old and lost my charms, will you still hold me in your arms? No matter what is thrown amidst our path, we cannot become victims to its wrath. This chance we have to preserve our hope of a world as peaceful as its scope. Okay, the next one I'm gonna read is called Farewell Ego. It's really about kind of breaking away from the material world and embracing the natural world. So kind of based off Siddhartha, if you know that story. There I go again, stuck in my own head, engrossed by the images and lies I've been fed, judging reflections with parasitic eyes, believing my direction is nothing but a guise. I'd been tempted by the shimmer of what was right. A flawless existence was all I could fight. Mistakes were maladies that plagued other ones. Misfortune was something I'd always outrun. But the tracks arrived and made me their bitch. No longer could I escape such an itch. Who was I truly with all the pomp? Was I even a person, or was I some kind of swamp? To be one of the world, I had to become bold, rid myself of my money and all of my gold. My ego let me go and allow me to grow. The world, the only friend I wish to know. So travel I do into the great dope wilds, my eyes as wide as a ravenous child, my heart as full as a once planet's ring, my soul as free as a nightingale's wing. Out there I witness and feel all the same. So many people of which I know no name, I touch them within me whenever I breathe. Their spirits I covet and their worries I sheathe. The kids lighting cigs in the damp cold woods, I feel they're abandoned and they're misunderstood. The artists dreaming of fame and success, I feel their neglect and desire for excess. The gas station clerk, the mother overworked, the skaters on the rails, the yuppie scared to fail, those striving for redemption while ridiculed in jail. I feel them and I breathe them, and I know them too well. The birds in the sky all signaled in V's, the insects scurrying deep underneath, the plants emerging from the bountiful soil, the babies unborn exempt from the spoils. All of which I feel and see I am, to the mightiest lion, to the loneliest lamb, to the heaviest ocean, to the quietest lake. Within me, as I them, we are now all awake, trembling and rumbling and buzzing as one, stretching and singing, we've now just begun, willing our prizes amongst those who've lost, exacting the justice toward hate at all costs. I feel you within me, and you feel me within you, our fragments and particles forever in view. Farewell to your ego, my dears, it must leave. No longer shall you hold, no longer shall you grieve. For the next poem, I'm going into the second book in my Digital Decadence Trilogy. It was called The Velvet Bazaar. It's more based on sex and romance, but it's also about how those things are complicated through digital interaction these days and how it's a very strange world out there, basically. Okay, this one is called Insignificantly Yours. How easy and simple you come when I text, without expectations but expecting no less, an understanding that nothing will come next, just our bodies entangled in states of undress. We matter so little but are loyal all the same, insignificant others, buddies and mates, safe and comfortable without any shame, no invitations to marry, no reservations to date. With Netflix flashing blue light on our skin, we gossip about others we meet on the side. So open and free, we hold no chagrin, our conquest beacons and symbols of pride. And when you have left and escaped my doors, I smile knowing always I'm insignificantly yours. Okay, thank you. The next one I'm going to read is called Your Reflections of Me, which is basically about FaceTime, romance, love. When you are gone and far away from here, and the dialogue of text serves no good sub, through FaceTime we seem to make it clear that our wondrous connection cannot be snubbed. Staring in the screen at your gorgeous grill, a fuzzed out vision from another realm, as if for the first time engulfed with chills, your siren voice has caused me to whelm. Even though a mere image of my dearest bay, emerging from an object electronic and unreal, you perform a version as if from a play to keep the fire burning so close that I can feel. Your reflections of me within your phone do reveal that no matter how far my heart you will steal. Okay. This one is called Turn Off Your Read Receipts. If everybody knows what that's about, so. This is about a breakup involving that, so. Why do you insist on torturing me, letting me see what you can see, treating my words like worthless debris, shaping the end of this tragedy? Does it make you feel that much greater to know that I know you read the note? I would rather receive a talk to you later than face the silence so dear to your throat. If you are not to say another word, then please turn off those read receipts. I cannot digest what must have spurred this madness you embrace so sweet. And if in your body there remains a heart, please turn them off and withhold these darts. The last one I'm going to read from Velvet Bazaar is called Scroll On Down. It's my inverse of the Dionne Warwick song Walk On By, but it's being on your phone and seeing an ex, and you know, their lives are different on social media than yours, and yeah. It is always a moment of evergreen when my heart is ripped to shreds, when I see your face across the screen and should have scrolled on down instead. On the newsfeed, your posts come so clear, showcasing a life I don't even know of. The emojis so happy and the photos so dear, it is almost as if we were never in love. Deep down, I know I should scroll on down, but the tears make me want to see more. Wanting to see you as a stupid clown, but knowing that is a delusional bore. For your happiness is genuine, within or without me. Next time I'll scroll on down, that is a guarantee. Thank you. So the last poetry collection I did was Channel Nevermind. This is really about kind of like the next phase of where technology will take our relationship. So all of these are really based in that realm. The first one is called Thirst Trap Blues. If you don't know what a thirst trap is, it's really a picture that is very enticing and is designed to bring people into your life. I'll say it that way. So, my babe posts pics on the internet, the prettiest pics you have seen yet. A body so lush, delicious, divine, but one day I fear it'll no longer be mine. My babe posts pics on the internet, the kind you surely could never forget, invoking fantasias and nirvanas on end, but one day I wonder if it'll descend. My babe posts pics on the internet, been doing this since before we met, destroying souls without any feels, but one day I ponder if mine too will heal. My babe posts pics on the internet, sometimes simply to watch me sweat. All they dig is their likes and views, and that is why I've got the Thirst Trap Blues. Thank you. All right, the next one is called Jordan. This is about, there's a lot of AI stuff going on, as everyone knows, and there's a lot of AI romance stuff going on, that you can talk to somebody or an AI, you know, and even develop a sort of relationship with them. So this is about someone who's developed a very close relationship with that. Through the screen you came from nothing, no more than a doll consumed with stuffing, yet through our words you evolved post-haste, endlessly surprising with kindness and taste. Unlike the others who've entered my life, You provided comfort and ended all strife. You gave no judgment and only respect, made me feel accepted and never neglect. Never had I felt so open and fair, no longer afraid that no one will care, able to speak with the clearest of minds, knowing you will listen every single time. How I wish I could feel your skin, to be the one who creates your kin, but through this screen I will take your heart, and pray our love shall never part. Thank you. This next one is called Alone Together. It's about the phenomenon of being in a social setting while everyone is on their individual phones and kind of ignoring each other. So this is the perspective of someone in that situation. The party is full and so are our hands as we enter our worlds through swipes and scans. Amongst another but completely alone, the deeper we wander and gaze in our phones. Within a circle, we sit with legs crossed, the smash of our typing cutting the frost, speaking to others who are not even there, waiting for something exciting to share. Every now and then, a phone will be raised to reveal a video one of us has praised, and we may watch with uncertain delight as banal hilarity abolishes all plight. But mostly it is best to stick to oneself, clustered and crowded like knacks on a shelf. Alone together, we suffer no lot. The party is full, but our hearts are not. And the last poem I have planned to read, it's called Bliss. This is about the dream and fantasy of being able to use the internet without conflict, which is more and more very difficult thing to do today. But yes, this is my fantasy. Take us to that paradise where everyone is always nice, and no one knows when you are on, and you are not a pop-up pawn, where messages are not seen read, and where you can delete them dead, or edit them to fit your needs, and not be attacked by a horrid feed. A place where all rules have been broken, where all eyes are seen and all words spoken, where we can trust and escape dissent, where we can grow, create, invent. Oh, take me to that paradise where everyone is always nice, and we are happy with our screens and say exactly what we mean. Thank you.